hot, heading for a high of 16. Winter is upon us.
6:45 here. Dementia and Alzheimer's. Well, it's a growing problem, growing very fast in New Zealand. Every day, 40 people are diagnosed with the disease. Little is known about the cause, little's known how to treat it effectively, but that is hopefully set to change with the first in a new network of research centres opening in Auckland today. Now, our next guest is going to explain a bit more, and just a quick warning, he's brought in a couple of beautiful brains, and they are real. Could make you a wee bit squeamish, but I'd like to introduce now, please, Professor Richard Faull from the Centre for Brain Research. Richard, thank you for coming in, and thank you very much for bringing in these... Well, I thought when you brought them in they're very lifelike, but these are the real McCoy.
These are real plastinated human brains we use in our teaching and in our research.
So let's start with what we know as a result of these, what you can identify, i.e. how the brain is affected by Alzheimer's.
Well, the major point is that this is a normal human brain. Hopefully my brain and your brain is just like that. It's about 1,500 grams, and it's got these beautiful folds on the outside, each of which does a particular function, which we can go into, but we probably don't have time. But what is really interesting is that with Alzheimer's disease and dementia is that you gradually lose brain cells. And this is a person who died at the age of 65 who actually didn't run the full course of disease because died unexpectedly of a heart clot. And, but that brain, you see, has lost 1/3 of its brain weight. So you've gone from 100 billion neurons and you've lost 30 billion to go down to from 1,500 grams to 900 grams.
Wow. And so we know that it's about a deterioration of the matter, of the neurons, etc.
It's losing brain cells.
What we also know is this is a massive issue for New Zealand, and it seems to be escalating. Is that a fair comment?
Well, yes, as we got more and more people growing into the ageing population, which is great. Then there's because age is a risk factor for the disease, then the older you get, the greater the chance the greater the risk of getting Alzheimer's.
What we don't know. What causes this? There are a lot of theories about it. One thing which I've heard, and it seems to make a lot of sense, is our change in diet in recent generations could well be why there seems to be this acceleration of the condition. Well,
there's a lot of factors, actually, which come into it. It's no one single factor. We know what the risk factors are. Age, of course, is the biggest risk factor. If you've got diabetes or if you've got high blood pressure, if you're low in exercise, and you know, you can actually drop your rate of risk by exercising 3 times a week for 40 minutes.
So we're talking about diet, exercise, these things could all help. We don't know yet, which is why you're setting up this network of research centres. The other thing, of course, which we're looking for, or which I imagine you'll be aiming for, is some sort of prevention, some sort of, I don't know, some sort of medical reason to slow it up?
Well, what we're going to be doing is, we're setting up these these dementia prevention research clinics. The first is in Auckland, next in Christchurch and Dunedin. It's done under the umbrella organisation of the Centre of Research Excellence, which is called Brain Research New Zealand. Our first clinic in Auckland has been opened this afternoon by the Minister of Science. And what we're doing is getting people, we're going to enrol people who are in the very earliest stages of the disease, before they've lost too many brain cells, and then we'll look at them and see, and look at all their risk factors and look at all their different aspects of the disease, doing MRIs and all the rest, get a baseline, and then watch them and trace them through and see how we can slow down the onset. If we slow down the onset, you see, by 5 years, we would cut the prevalence of the disease by 50%.
Quick question about slowing it down, because at the end of the day, this disease, this condition is extremely hard on the caregiver, on the partner, on the loved one. By slowing it down, does it potentially just extend that pain? I mean, it's a really hard one.
No. If you slow down the disease, and ultimately, if you slow it down long enough, then the person will die of quite a different disease, but have a life of greater value, and they can make, they enjoy life, they know they can actually recognise their family.
They have the old age which we all wish we could.
Well, they have the quality of life in the old age, which is really important. People talk about longevity, but they don't talk about quality of life. There's no sense in living a long life unless you actually enjoy it.
extraordinary. 55,000 people, the number I've got in front of me, suffering with it today in New Zealand. Richard, thank you very much for coming in for a brief outline of what you're hoping to achieve with these various research centres. And thank you very much for bringing the props in. I fear you walk around with these rather a lot.
They travel with me, and people love to see the human brain. It's the most beautiful organ in the body. Professor Richard Faull from the Centre for Brain Research. Thanks for coming in. Thank you very much.
Yeah, fascinating discussion. Now your news.